Hello dear friends. Today we will talk about 10 famous people who have converted to Islam. Islam is the youngest and second largest world religion in terms of the number of adherents, which is practiced by about 1.8 billion people. We have gathered together the most famous people who considered or consider themselves Muslims. Why and when did they accept the faith? Muhammad Ali. Not many people remember that the greatest boxer, one of the most famous athletes in history and a man who became a real idol, the main motivator for young fighters, Cassius Clay was born into a Catholic family. And he received his Muslim name Muhammad Ali only in 1964, having converted to Islam. When it was proposed to install a star in his honor on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in Los Angeles, he asked to make it not on the sidewalk, but on the wall of the Dolby Cinema, so that people would not go by the name of the Prophet. Shaquille O'Neal. Legendary American basketball player Shaquille O'Neal is considered one of the best centers in the history of the NBA. With a height of 2 meters 16 centimeters and a weight of over 140 kilograms, he always dominated the field, giving no chance to his rivals. The media reported that Shaquille became a Muslim thanks to his military stepfather, who professed Islam. If it wasn't for him, I would have gone to the streets to shoot and use drugs like my biological father, he said. It turns out that Shaquille even performed the Hajj to Mecca. Mike Tyson. One of the most famous boxers in the world, beloved in Kazakhstan, Mike Tyson believed in the Almighty during a difficult period of his life. Sitting in prison in the 90s on charges of rape, he had enough time to rethink his actions. After being released, Mike started a new life. He took the Muslim name Malik Abdul Aziz and began to regularly perform prayer, as residents of the Kazakh capital could see for themselves. In 2010 he came there for a film festival and visited a local mosque. Jacques-Yves Cousteau. According to legend, the most famous explorer of the world ocean, Jacques-Yves Cousteau, converted to Islam in the late 60s. One day he discovered places where salt and fresh water did not mix with each other. This was the case in Bab el-Mandeb, where the waters of the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean meet. The same phenomenon is observed in the Strait of Gibraltar, where the waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea do not mix. It is said that Cousteau found an explanation of the natural phenomenon only from an Islamic scientist. He gave the navigator a verse of the Holy Quran telling about the creation of the barrier between the seas by Allah. There are many who believe that Cousteau became a Muslim. But there seem to be more opponents of this theory. There is not a single proof that Cousteau converted to Islam. There is no evidence that he said the Shahada, attended a mosque, read the Quran or performed prayer, they write. Some of them even refer to an interview allegedly published in 2004 in Forbes in which the family stated that the famous navigator remained a Christian until his death. And on the internet there is a paper supposedly written by the Cousteau Foundation and assuring that he is not a Muslim. We have not found reliable sources confirming this version. Only one thing is absolutely certain. After the death of the explorer of the depths of the sea in 1997, he was buried in the Catholic Cathedral of Notre Dame de Paris, and buried in the family Christian cemetery of Saint-André de Cubzac. Zinedine Zidane. An outstanding French football player and coach, who has repeatedly been called the best football player in the world and Europe. The legendary Juventus and Real Madrid player calls himself a Muslim, but does not adhere to strict rules. His parents are from Algeria. Muslims. Zinedine himself never emphasizes his religious preferences, unlike his eldest son Endo, who congratulates his brothers in faith on social networks on all Muslim holidays. Janet Jackson. Michael Jackson's younger sister Janet converted to Islam after marrying a billionaire from Qatar. They say that she changed her religion only after she became pregnant at the age of 50. Janet gave birth to a boy and named Isa, the Arabic version of the name Jesus. However, 2 years ago the couple divorced. Whether Janet remained a Muslim is unknown. Judging by her Instagram page, she began to dress a little more modestly than before. Franck Ribéry. The French footballer, who has just transferred from the German club Bayern Munich to the Italian Fiorentina, the finalist of the Champions League in 2010 and 2012, the winner of the Champions League in 2013, the best football player in Europe in 2013, converted to Islam in 2006. His Algerian wife, Wahiba, helped him in this. Now the couple has 4 children, all with Muslim names: Kizia, Shahinaz, Saif al-Islam and Muhammad. Busta Rhymes. According to media reports, the popular rapper of the 90s, who was nominated for a Grammy Award 11 times, but never received it, Busta Rhymes converted to Islam in 2007. He does not particularly spread about this fact, and it is unlikely that the musician can be called a devout Muslim, because 10 years ago he, along with 50 Cent, advertised carbonated vodka, which is known to be haram in Islam. Akon, the American R&B and hip-hop artist, became the first solo artist to take 2 first places in the Billboard Hot 100 twice. Unlike Busta Rhymes, he never drank, did not smoke, and according to Ryder, he has only water from drinks. However, Akon certainly does not make sacrifices on Eid al-Adha. He has recently been a vegetarian. The musician does a lot of charity work. It is said that thanks to his project, 600 million people in Africa received electricity. Rita Ora. The family of the popular British singer Rita Ora is from Yugoslavia. They fled to the UK from the war. Rita's mother is a Catholic, but her father is a Muslim. And although young Rita went to Catholic school as a child and relatively recently sang in St. Peter's Cathedral in the Vatican before the canonization of Mother Teresa, she calls herself a Muslim. At the same time, in her interviews, the girl emphasizes that she is a believer, but not a religious person. That's why her deep cleavage, photo shoots in revealing swimwear and participation in films like 50 Shades of Grey are not a problem for her. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn about the incredible facts about Coca-Cola, which is very interesting, and you didn't know, click here. Hello dear friends. Today we cooked for you, interesting facts about Coca-Cola that you didn't know. And so let's go. Is there anyone in the world who has never drunk Coca-Cola, has not heard about it on TV, or has not seen advertising posters with a bottle of this iconic drink? Most people probably know what it's about. It's no secret that this sweet sparkling water is the most famous and most popular American drink in the whole world. But the fact that this name is constantly on the ear does not mean that you know absolutely everything about this company. In this publication you will find interesting facts about the history of the creation of the famous brand and scientific facts about the influence of cola on the world around you. 1. Almost 2 billion cans or bottles of Coca-Cola are drunk every day in the world. 2. There are only 2 countries on our entire planet where Coca-Cola drinks are not sold at all. On the territory of Cuba and in North Korea. Perhaps the citizens of these countries are very fond of soda, but the local authorities have their own scores with the Americans. 3. The composition of cola once included cocaine, narcotic substance. One of the main ingredients of this drink was coca leaves, from which a well-known stimulant is also produced. This was the case until 1929, when this dangerous substance was finally banned for use in the production of the iconic drink. 4. Cola was originally invented as a medicinal product by pharmacist John Pemberton, Dr. John S. Pemberton, in Atlanta in 1886. 5. Cola contains a very strong acid, so you can use it to clean very dirty surfaces when you can't do with ordinary powder and a rag. The effectiveness of this soda can be compared with very caustic cleaning agents, during the use of which it is recommended to wear protective gloves for hands. 6. Coca-Cola has about 3,900 different drinks in its assortment. Some of them are no longer produced, and others you probably buy yourself. 7. The Coca-Cola brand was valued at $74 billion, and this amount is more than Budweiser, Pepsi, Starbucks and Red Bull are worth combined. It turns out that cola is the 3rd most expensive brand in the world. 8. Cola production requires a lot of water, and because of this, the company has caused serious damage to some regions where its drinks are produced. The territories of India, Latin America and Africa were affected, where all the local inhabitants faced drought due to the merciless exploitation of water. 9. Coca-Cola is the 2nd most famous word in the world after the familiar, okay. Wherever you go for work or with a tourist voucher in your pocket, these 2 words will be understood everywhere, no matter what language the local population speaks. 10. One 355 milliliter can of cola contains about 10 teaspoons of sugar. This amount of sugar is almost a daily dose for an adult, which doctors advise not to exceed. Will 1 glass be enough for you for the whole day? 11. The first bottles of cola were sold for 5 cents a piece. 12. Diet Coca-Cola appeared for the first time in 1982, and over the past 35 years it has become almost the most popular diet drink in the world. 13. All the cola ever produced in the company's factories could fit into a tank 30 kilometers long, 15 kilometers wide and high, or deep 200 meters. About 500 million people could swim in such a pool at the same time. 14. The World Coca-Cola Museum is located in Atlanta, and according to rumors, the legendary recipe for the first composition of Coca-Cola is hidden in its secret vault. This safe is recognized as one of the most guarded in the world, and the original recipe of the drink is considered one of the most secret on the planet. 15. When Coca-Cola first appeared on the Chinese market in 1927, it was not without embarrassment. So Chinese characters, the reading of which sounded exactly like Coca-Cola, were translated in meaning as, wax flattened mare. Subsequently, the writing of the brand had to be revised. 16. Once upon a time, the Coca-Cola Corporation conducted a real campaign against plain drinking water. Marketers have even developed a whole training program for restaurant workers on how to dissuade customers from ordering drinking water in favor of more profitable carbonated drinks. On July 17.12, 1985, Coca-Cola became the first soft drink ever tasted in outer space. At that time, astronauts were testing a space can of cola right on board the Challenger shuttle. 18. According to statistics, every inhabitant of the Earth drinks one Coca-Cola drink every 4 days. 19. The famous Coca-Cola Company logo was invented and handwritten by Frank Robinson, the accountant of the inventor of everyone's favorite cola, John Pemberton. 20. The unique design of Coca-Cola bottles was created by employees of a glass factory from Indiana. The appearance of the bottle is based on the shape of cocoa beans, because glazers mistakenly believed that these seeds were the main ingredient of the drink. Despite the designer's misconception, this form has remained in use. 21. To cook about 1 liter of cola, 2.7 liters of water are needed. In 2004, Coca-Cola used about 283 billion liters of water. 22. Coca-Cola management never misses an opportunity to advertise its product once again. For example, Coca-Cola was the first sponsor of the Olympic Games in history. This happened in 1928, when the corporation supported the holding of the Summer Olympic Games in Amsterdam. 23. About 105 million fans have subscribed to Cola's Facebook page, which confirms that Coca-Cola is one of the most popular brands on social networks. 24. In 1888, 2 years after the invention of cola, American entrepreneur Asa Griggs Candler outbid Pemberton's company for just $550. 25. A little pointless fantasy, but still. Imagine that every drop of Coca-Cola ever produced is sealed in a 237 milliliter bottle. If all these bottles are placed one on top of the other, the resulting tower will be able to reach the moon 2,000 times and return to Earth. That's it. If you want to find out about the incredible facts about ants, click here.